Welcome everybody to your favorite 420 podcast. This is your main host Chino. We are back on another episode here of Canna Vibe, ladies and gents. Today's special guest here. So see, this is another thing that happens, my guy. Before you even clicked record and everything, I didn't even get your name, bro. So, what is your name, bro, my guy? My apologies.
I go by Jay. You can find me on the internet by Jay Smooth. It's my alias, I guess.
So Jay, night, okay, my guy. So Jay, so see, right even before we even got started too, I got to know something interesting about you, and not are you just behind the Dank Cuisine, but as well you're part of another podcast, and it's Hawk Radio, correct?
Yeah, Hawkwinds Radio.
All right. So yeah, so that's pretty dope because I actually have been to, like, I seen, clips of the show and stuff. Like you kind of bring out many different types of people from all what I've seen. Um, but yeah, no, we'll get into a lot of things today, my guy. But are you smoking today? Are you smoking today in the morning? Are you wake and
Oh yeah,
bake?
I definitely got my little joint going right here.
Yeah, what you talking on this morning?
Let me see. I went to a dispo last night and I got me staying from like High Supply. I don't know
Okay.
what, but it's a gram, a pre-roll. It's a sativa.
And how you feeling on that? Like, do you like
I
it?
like, I like smoking sativas in the morning because it doesn't make me as like drowsy, as much as indicas do.
Hmm.
And so it helps me. I mean, personally, I know a lot of people that say they smoke weed and like it makes them lazy. For me, it like helps me get through the day. My brain normally has a lot of like, I wouldn't say like anxiety, but it like goes really fast, and so weed helps me like mellow out so I can get my shit done.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Do you usually just smoke indicas at nighttime then?
Yeah, I try to. I prefer to. Helps me go to sleep. After the rush of the day, I mellow out with that and just knock out.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. So, what is like your local dispensary that's near you?
The one we have near me is Mocha. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. It's like an
Uh,
Ascend
where,
brand.
which in location though?
It's right here at Logan Square,
Oh yeah, right there on Milwaukee
Milwaukee, and
and
Fullerton.
Fullerton. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I remember when it was Mocha. I don't know what happened, but I guess they got bought out or whatever. But interesting. Okay. So how is that experience for you at the dispensary?
Um,
Like
I
how do you
mean,
see it? Hmm.
well, specifically in Chicago, it's a little bit different. I don't know if you've been to dispensaries out in like Colorado or even in like Michigan, I guess, they'll have like, well, I guess mostly in Colorado, they have like bud tenders. So you go in like one at a time and somebody's there pretty much the whole time. Like you can get to ask them like very in-depth questions. Like let's say you want something to help you fall asleep at a certain time or whatever, you ask them that and they'll give you a specific strain of weed. As to where here in Chicago, dispensaries are kind of like going to like Apple stores, kind of. You kind of go in, it's very robotic. It's a little different. But overall, it's definitely a good experience. Everyone's always really nice. The one I go to, I bring my dog and they'll give him dog treats. That's pretty fun.
Any like infused like CBD treats or the
I think just regular treats,
oh, okay.
yeah, for the dogs. Yeah, shit. Otherwise, I'd be eating them.
See, I tried giving my dog CBD treats from like Petco and PetSmart, and I don't think those kick in
Oh
because
shit.
like I've also gotten some like from like a local vendor and stuff,
Mhm.
and those treats like tend to like ease on to him and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering if the ones in Petco and shit are just like bullshit or not. But
Probably.
they're a little like pricey. I ain't gonna lie, just for it to be like CBD, like.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But it is what it is. But nah, I like to just kind of just kind of hear everybody's experience on dispensaries because like you just mentioned, like it's very different when you go to other dispensaries out of the state here in Illinois. I personally have only gone to Michigan,
Yeah,
and Michigan, bro, like it's just like a special place for us, you know.
I feel you, dude.
And I'm sure like if I go to another state that cannabis is legal, and I'm sure, and if it's like a whole different system and the way that the culture is different from here, then I'm sure it's gonna be another add-on to it. But like, you know, don't get me wrong, like my our state here in Illinois, like we're at least thankful that it is legal, you know, at least that we like yourself can, I'm sure, like one, do you walk or you drive to your dispensary?
Oh, I live like a block down, so I
Ah,
walk.
you see, so like for you, it's like it's like you're thankful, like I'm sure you're thankful, like that you're able to like walk down the block to just pick up your pre-roll or your bud or wax, whatever you consume. But like,
Completely legal as to her before. I don't know if you remember those days where we had to walk down, a few blocks just to meet up the plug and
yeah, it's funny
sketchy.
because you mentioned Logan Square. I remember when it was still legal and I was in high school and we would like probably have to like meet up with the plug around like Diversity close to that skate park under the bridge and be like all low key, you know.
Where
Um,
everybody met up with their plugs, dude.
Right. So it went from that to, I guess now we can openly just go and just purchase it, you know. But at the end of at the end at the other side of the end per se, it's like it's very I say regulated and limited. Like they don't really count like ounces here. Like I think the top that they usually go to is like half an ounce here. Um but and that's one thing I seen, but as well, like there's just the regulations in general. Like I just don't like how they let, kind of everybody, quote unquote, everybody grow, but then they took away that from like the recreational users.
Mhm.
Um, which that kind of sucks because like I think that's like a good hobby to get onto or just try it at least once, I can say. Because you're just growing a plant, you feel me?
Yeah, the other thing about dispensaries, to me at least, is that you can't own one unless you're like fucking rich, dude. Like just to apply for the permit to have one, it costs you like a couple like 100 grand or something like that. Don't quote me on the numbers, but I know it's like just to apply to own a dispensary, it costs you like a shit ton of money, which most people don't really have. So they've kind of made it so that unless you're a big corporation, you'll be able to own dispensaries. And, you're a regular guy like me who wants to own a dispensary. It's kind of hard.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. And just the fact that that application is not refundable, so like if you're not
Mhm.
chosen, all that money is literally just down
Now
the
you're fucked.
drain.
Yeah.
Which you're probably gonna feel salty, but again, like I guess now they kind of made it into like this lottery thing. I haven't really been up to date on like how the application process is nowadays. But from the last time I know, it was like, yeah, they kind of lower the fee for the application, but it was more of like a lottery now.
Yeah.
Like it's,
I
but
heard that people were selling their like if let's say you got chosen from your lottery, people were selling their like permits to other people, and
yeah,
a little bit
that
higher.
that's another thing that people are now doing too. Yeah, it's like they're selling their license, and it kind of makes sense from like a, I don't know. Why? Well, my question is like, why would you sell your license if you got it?
I think it's because then now you have like a business point or like business aspect of it where now you have to pay rent, now you have to pay employees, now you have to pay for insurance, now you have to pay for all this stuff, which sometimes people aren't too aware of all that stuff that goes on after you get your permit. And so they're like, and this is what I'm thinking. I'm not sure
Hmm.
exactly why they sell it, but I'm
Yeah,
assuming
let's just think out there, like theory
that
wise.
I'm assuming that maybe like they realize because then you also have like I think like 90 days or I don't know like maybe like a year or something to get like your business running and to like report that you actually have. So all that mixed together, they're like, this is way too much for me. I'll just sell my slot to somebody that wants it. And so
Yeah.
then that way they make at least a little bit of a profit from it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you have a point on that, like
But I don't know. I could be wrong.
you're right. Like we never know, but like if I were to like honestly, like if I were to get that license and if I were to sell it, like I would honestly at least keep my name and something at least, like where at least I can still be part of it. Well,
Mhm.
but again, I think that's all depends on like the type of person that you are with
Yeah.
that has that license. Like would you sell your license?
I would try to I would try to get investors. If I were to get the license, I would go to investors and be like, "Hey, well, now I have this license. Theoretically, we could make a shit ton of money. I just need you guys to invest, however millions or whatever I need." That's what I would do. And if I couldn't get that, then I would probably try to sell it.
Damn. It's like that elevator pitch.
Hmm.
Imagine doing an elevator pitch on a license of marijuana. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. But think about how far we've gotten to like, because I'm pretty sure now you can even buy like some sort of like marijuana stock on like the stock market and shit. Like that was
I'm
never
sh
like
yeah.
never even imaginable back in the day. Like that's
Yeah, I'm sure there's something out there or some type of stocks out there.
like
Like
a Cresco stock or something.
right, or almost definitely like a cookie stock out there. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
yeah, for
something.
sure.
There's got to be something out there. But I mean, little by little, I I can see that, man. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't personally buy it. I mean, like sell it unless like I see there's no point in like having it. Like
Yeah.
if I can't grow and if I can't like infuse stuff and or whatever, then I think that's like two major things. And unless like I bring like you said investors in, like put it in their part, but then they get
And they get sad and what you do and shit, and that kind of sucks.
right.
I
Uh,
what I want to do eventually someday is get my like infused food on like dispensaries and just sell it to them instead of like owning my own dispensary to
mhm.
like distribute my shit to like other dispensaries.
Like
You know?
like uh like some meal prep shit like ready already like made and shit. All they gotta do like
Something like that.
put
Yeah,
it in
you
the
know how like
microwave.
you know how you have those like frozen kind of like meals at like Aldi's or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I would just sell something similar to that, just like an infused pre-made packaged thing.
That's what's up. That'd be kind of cool. Hell yeah, something new out there, like.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of the. A lot of people make like pastries and shit, like infused pastries, but I wanted to get out of that realm of like just because when people think like of infused food, they think of like stoner brownies and stuff like that, but they don't really think about how intricate it could really get with infusing food and stuff. You can infuse pretty much anything.
So like what got you into like making like infused dinners and everything?
Um, Honestly, it's gonna sound kind of funny. A few years ago, I was watching YouTube, and so I have like a fine dining background. I used to work in like a lot of like fine dining restaurants here in Chicago, and one of my buddies brought in a couple weed cookies, and I went home, I ate one, I was fucking gone out of my mind because I think it was like the third or fourth time I ever had like a weed edible.
Hmm.
And so I was, watching YouTube like a fucking stoner, and I was watching like those infused food channels, and I was all like, "Bingo, that's what I'm gonna do." Uh, I ended up learning how to make like infused oil, infused butter, infused like cream, infused. I learned how to make like salt and sugar, like infused salt and sugar. Um, and I just started implicating that to like my fine dining skills, so like making like different dishes. Like I remember one of the first things I ever made was an infused steak, which made me fall asleep for like a day and a half. So I kind of had to learn how to dose everything because if you put too much, it would fucking.
How how was that infused steak? Because I hear a lot of people say like you can't really infuse meat.
So when I marinated the steak, I marinated it with infused olive oil, And so normally when you marinate a regular steak with regular olive oil, the olive oil kind of goes in the steak a little bit.
Hmm.
And then as I'm finishing the steak up, I baste the steak with weed butter. So the part of the reason you can't infuse too much meat is because it'll probably burn off the weed before it's finished cooking. But when you finish the steak off with butter, you're not cooking the butter too much. You're kind of just letting the butter kind of like melt on top of it a little bit
Hmm.
before it burns. You take it off, and so that's kind of how you infuse a steak. Uh, I put way too much butter in it. I ended up falling asleep for like 12 hours straight.
Damn. Yeah. Did you
I
snooze
woke
alarms?
I woke up the next day. My eyes were like bloodshot red, and then I went to work. Everything was like wobbly, so I had to like tell my boss I had to go home.
Damn, that's crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah, I had to learn how to dose everything.
So then, like, when dosing on, like, when including like cannabis into like making food and stuff like that, like, is it like hard for you to like know exactly how much to put on certain types of food or?
You kind of have, so when you're serving other people, you kind of have to like ask them what their tolerance is, and obviously it's always, unfortunately, it's always like a guessing game. I mean, it's a very like uh educated guessing game because like if I ask you like what's your tolerance, you're gonna be like, oh, it's high. But maybe my like idea of a high tolerance is different than your idea of a high tolerance. But I kind of have to like generalize. And then the way I dose is there's like a formula online. You get like the percentage of the weed and like how much you're putting on, and it's like a math formula that you do. I don't feel like explaining it. You can look it up, but
Uh-huh.
I don't like math. But so yeah, it's always different with everybody. You kind of have to like so when I do dinners, I kind of beforehand I ask everybody to like what their like general like tolerance is, and then they kind of just serve everybody individual meals according to what their own tolerance is. And then obviously, I have like, for example, one time I did a infused taco dinner party, and I didn't infuse anything other than the salsas. So I had like guac, I had like red salsa, green salsa, and I had like pico de gallo that was all infused with weed. So then they themselves can dose themselves. So like each little spoonful was like 10 milligrams of weed. So if they wanted more, they could put more. But then that was on them.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
if I would have gone to that, bro, I would have not gotten high at all. Cause I don't eat any spicy shit.
Damn. Well,
So I would have been sober that day.
I mean, we had like non-spicy like guac and stuff that was infused, but yeah, whatever.
So no, that's pretty cool, dope though. The way you kind of like are creative, like within, what is infused, what is not. Like for example, that like that dinners. Um, but like, what has been like? Well, first of all, like I guess has cooking always been like a thing? Like you always love cooking.
When I was younger, yeah, I wanted to be like a chef, so I got into restaurants at a young age, and
Hmm.
I progressed my career from there. I don't know. At one point, I was all like, "Fuck cooking," but I still like cooking with weed, so kind of something that I've always I've always done for sure. Yeah.
What is it? I guess like as a point of view as a chef for you. Like what is it about like cooking?
Like, I don't know, man. It's like not nothing weird, but it's kind of like my love language. Like I cook something for people, and it makes me feel good to see them feel good. I guess I don't know. Um, yeah, man. To me, cooking is like it's kind of like when you make art and you share it for people, and people appreciate it, and it makes you feel good.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
Hmm.
Like, do you like did you always like learn like from house or like did you end up going to like culinary school or?
No, I never went to culinary school. I always just um always looked up like restaurants that I thought had really good food, and I would just go up to there and just talk to the chef and ask him for a job. A
Hmm.
lot of the times, people will be very nice to you if they seem like if you seem like you're eager to learn, they'll want to teach you a lot of times.
And how's that been, how's that experience been with you and like talking to other chefs?
It's been it's been good. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from a lot of chefs here in Chicago. Um, they've taught me the way they see cooking. It's a lifestyle, and so like not only did they teach me like the techniques of how to cook, but then they also taught me like things at the back end, like the discipline that it takes to not just because then you can transfer that kind of stuff to other things. You know what I mean? Like you learn discipline, you learn it from to you take it to other aspects of your life, or like they taught me like what a sense of urgency is, for example, and I was all like, now I can take that to other aspects of my life, and it's worked out for me so far. So it's been a really good experience.
And what's like the sense of urgency that they taught you?
Like let's say um I needed to make a let's say I fucked up a dish, and instead of waiting to get it make it again, I fuck it up, make it immediately, send it out, type of thing, Or like if they ask me for like a plate from something, instead of being like, "Yeah, I got you in a second," it's like, "All right, well, let me just do it real quick and get it done with." Like, and it's kind of worked out for me.
Has that like heightened like I guess like your multitasking or like some
For sure.
skills?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Like, I use it in my everyday life. Sense of urgency. It's kind of been a thing that I've been working on more.
Is it like a rush that you get when it comes to this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I don't know if you've ever heard like performer or like are you into wrestling at all?
I used to. I
So
used
like
to.
so like when professional wrestlers go, they get like this like adrenaline rush, and they're just kind of like, oh my God, everything's like so like at 110%. That's how I feel when I'm like cooking in like those types of restaurants.
Okay, como andas al 100 then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, I
Okay,
like it, man. Some people can't handle it. Some people, I've seen people show up to work and then just quit. It's fucking
damn.
wild. Yeah.
But why you think like they just give up and quit?
Some people don't like getting, some people can't handle the pressure of just everything's quick, everything has to be precise, everything, it's also long hours. Like most fine dining restaurants, you don't work just a regular 8 hour shift. Uh,
Mhm.
you do like 10 to 12 to 14 minimum.
Yeah.
So
Was it?
and it's like a sometimes it's like a 6 day thing. Most jobs are 5 days. You get 2 days to rest, and then on top of that, if they need you on that seventh day, you're gonna have to come in anyways because at that point that just becomes your life, which is why those chefs are like that. And they expect their employees to also be like that, which again, it's for some people. For some people, it's not. Some people just want a regular job, or some people just went in for the paycheck, which is completely fine. That's what jobs are for. Like, I'm not saying like give yourself to your job because that's not what I would ever do. But
Oh,
you know, it's just not for some people. Some people enjoy it.
yeah. I think it's all different for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like if you love doing it, you're gonna you wouldn't mind. You know, like that's how I
Hmm.
see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking a fucking. I was taking a nap.
I feel you, bro.
I got some live rosin from Midwest Terps. I got
Uh,
it's called Cherry Tree. It's like how it looks right
oh
here.
shit, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had some rosin the other day. I finished it. I actually went to Michigan. I forgot what it was called, but they had like this deal for like 5 grams for like $30 or something like that.
Oh, look, I got another one here, a little jar. I'm almost done with it. It was a 10 gram jar, diamonds. This is what I picked up from 420 in Michigan. and
Oh hell yeah.
it's yeah, it's apples and bananas, and yeah, it still smells pretty fruity, bro. Like I just keep my shit up in the fucking fridge. Um, something I don't like about here is in dispensaries is that they don't really keep concentrates in fridge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like it's it's like I don't know. Like, do you dab?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
all the time, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, do you put your dabs in a given fridge or no?
Yeah, I heard it's better that way. One of
Yeah.
my homies told me that.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. It might be just like a I guess a preference, but yeah, just because of like I that's why I
Or I
heard
think
that
what they told me is like as long as it wasn't like in hot temperatures, like like
like room temp and all. Yeah, it's all
yeah,
right, but yeah, nah.
but it's better to keep it like a little bit colder.
Colder. Yeah. Oh, shit. Nah.
I
Yeah,
know.
man.
I remember one time I had some fucking wax, and my room was like fucking hot as shit, and it started to like melt a little bit, which I don't know if that's good for it or not.
No, I used to work in construction like a few summers ago, and I would have my like una hielera, where I have my lunch and all my drinks to be cool. So I would put my little wax in there.
Hell
But
yeah.
sometime one day my cousin decided to, we were all like in lunch break and we were all finishing up and we were all gonna take a last dab before we started to get back on the grind. And he just decided to, I guess, leave his wax like in the just there in the pickup with the windows down, and it was so
Oh
hot.
shit.
So by the time we all got back, we were gonna take like a break. He opens it and it was all like kind of gone, but like it was all like towards one
Oh,
side, looking all ugly, and we're like, ah, like what is that?
that sucks,
It's
man.
yeah, but it is what it is. But yeah, that was I was like, damn, like wild. But yeah, no, man, I love dabs. Because like I like to smoke inside. Whether I'm just like watching TV or doing whatever. I don't have to like take myself out of like what I'm doing to like take a doink outside. You feel me? Or like if I have the pen, like the Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, which he's right here. He's right here, little Penji right here.
Oh, there you go.
Um, but yeah, nah, man. The Benjamin is always gonna be like a clutch, I think.
Yeah, I use it for work. It's yeah, I just go to the bathroom, just quick, quick puff, and back to work.
Like like I feel like whether you're like just a flower guy or just someone who just eats edibles or just in general whatever type of smoker you are, like consumer you are, like the Penji right here is gonna just like have you like has your back like at all times.
Let me ask you something since you mentioned right now different types of stoners that like have you noticed like is there like a difference in personality like from people that like only like flower and only eat edibles or only do dabs or you know what I mean or like whatever. Is there like a personality difference at all?
That's a good question.
Or is it just anybody?
From what I've seen, I feel like people who just kind of do edibles don't really like to like smoke a lot, but
Mm,
they kind of do smoke a lot per se. It's just like I guess there are other like type of way to consume, but like I feel like people who kind of don't to do I guess edibles kind of don't I guess do dabs or like isn't like don't quote me on that, but like I just kind of feel like if they're kind of just stuck or like comfortable with what they do originally, they wouldn't like try a dab. Like they think a
mm,
dab is very like, holy shit, you're
but,
going to the next level.
mhm.
Um, like my first dab really knocked the fuck out of me. Like I literally went to my sheets and knocked out after my first dab, bro. Like that was my college. I was in my college dorm, bro. Like my roommate, he put me on with dabs. He actually put me on into like edibles that were made with like resin and rosin, like
Oh shit, yeah, yeah.
so like getting that introduced, like yeah, it was pretty wild. Like it was cool and all, like I wasn't, like scared or anything. Like when I first saw him pull like his glass rig and his torch and he was like just lighting it up. I'm just like, what are you doing? I'm like, are you gonna like take a bong hit or what? He's like, no, dude, like I'm gonna take a dab. And he showed me what he had. And I forgot what was it, but he was just kind of like informing me of like what it is, and it was just kind of like pure THC right there. Like, what's kind of just everything that's pressed, like that's what it is. And he told me like it doesn't smell, it could smell like for a few minutes, but it just goes away after that. So like you don't even have to worry neither. So yeah, so then he like told me he's like, "Want to take one?" I was like, "Fuck it." So I did, and yeah, I coughed and I just went to bed, bro, and that was it. But yeah, no, I love dabs. I feel like you get a good taste in them sometimes, depending on what it is. Personally, like it lasts me longer than red flower. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but
You
like
mean like the high or like the or like just the
the
stuff in general?
quantity, like the
The
stuff in
quantity.
general,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Um, but like I do notice that like if I smoke flower, for example, like if I smoke a joint, like I probably have to take like two.
Mm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes too.
But then it's like I don't know if again if that's a good or a bad thing. But then again, like I'm in this industry, so I guess I have to stay up with like everything going on. Like what's good, what's not good. Like so yeah, man.
I feel you.
So yeah, so this is what I do here.
Yeah. No,
Um,
for me, it's always like a situational thing. Like for example, like right now, I knew I was gonna be on the pod, so I knew of like, all right, I roll up a joint, I have enough time to smoke. But like, let's say if I'm like on the go and like, let's say I had to go to work, I'll take a quick dab because it's 5 minutes, I'm done.
yeah, most definitely. I think it's like the type of scenario too.
Yeah,
But then again, like no one has really found like if you kind of consume it a lot, like every day or whatever, it's bad for you. It's if anything, it's kind of seen like it's a lot of more. I wouldn't say beneficial, but like there is a little pros to it. It kind of
yeah.
I see articles now and there, where it says like it helps you with the brain or your neurons, stuff like that, and kind of prevents from cancer cells and stuff like that. So like when it comes to that, I'm not no like deep in that medical field or not, but like it just gets me more interested and gets me more to kind of like more find out more articles or kind of do a little research on like whether or not it's true or not.
I mean, we've seen people that have consumed weed for a long time, like Snoop Dogg, for example, like Cheech and Chong. We've seen those guys like smoke since they were fucking, whatever.
Hmm.
And I mean, I don't know if they are medically healthy or whatever, but it seems like they're not, fucked up, I guess.
Do you
But that
think
kind of,
you think Snoop Dogg is medically like
well,
I don't know, like I wonder, like I really do wonder now.
that guy probably did a lot, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has talked a lot. I'm sure in his lifetime he has. Like I'm sure he probably is talking right now as we're doing this podcast.
Yeah. We got people like Willie Nelson that have been smoking since they were fucking young and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get too worried when I think about like the medical. I feel like the maybe like the actual smoking aspect of it is not that healthy for you, but then
Hmm.
that's why you have edibles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like the marijuana itself isn't as bad for you. I feel like it's just like the smoke, like the literal smoke aspect of it, not even like you know, if you consume THC other ways, I don't think your lungs will get too much affected.
Nah, nah. It's very versatile. Like,
Yeah,
you could really be in very different ways.
yeah,
I think it's just like your preference at that point.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Literally, if you want to eat it as like ice cream, you can consume it as ice cream. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I've came across people who make infused ice cream, and it's pretty wild. Like the things that you can really do. I think it's just the way that you do it.
Yeah, I made infused ice cream before. I pretty much just like whipping cream that you buy at the store.
Hmm.
you just infuse that with weed. Um, we just decarbolize some weed and then we put it in the cream and then we let it kind of just cook for a while, just kind of how you would do like butter or oil. And then we just made ice cream with it. We also made whipped cream with some of it too. It was pretty cool.
That's what's up.
Like infused whipped cream. We can infuse like birthday cakes and stuff.
Pretty dope. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Get
Um,
stoned on your birthday while eating your birthday cake.
Yeah, it was funny actually. One time, when I used to work at a restaurant, I brought a piece of infused cake to one of my coworkers, and they seemed to enjoy it. A few days later, they come up to me and they were like, "Can you make a birthday cake for my mom?" And I'm all like, "Your mom?" She's like, "Yeah, like she likes weed. She gets stoned." I'm all like, "Okay, I'll make one for her." And so I ended up making one for her mom's birthday. It was cool.
So like, um, what has been like your favorite thing to infuse?
My favorite thing to
Yeah,
infuse,
like your favorite dish per se.
mm, probably it's gonna be between the ice cream and the steak, to be honest. Yeah, I've done a lot of infused stuff. Like on my channel, you can see like I did like an infused rack of lamb one time. That
Hmm
was pretty good.
I see you done
The
the
beef
beef
Wellington,
Wellington.
that
Yeah.
one was pretty fun. It was a little bit hard to do, but it was a lot of fun.
How's
Um,
have you infused pasta before?
yeah, I've infused pasta. I've infused like
How is that? Like how is that process easy to like make and infuse? Like
yeah, we infused the cheese, so or the pasta sauce. So butter and a little bit of the infused whipping cream that we had, and then we just melted down the whatever cheese we used, like Parmesan and like a bunch of other cheeses that we had. We melted those down, a little bit of milk, a little bit of the infused butter, a little bit of the infused cream that we had, and that's how we made the sauce pretty much. And then we
gotcha.
put the little pastas in there, cut up some chicken, and it was pretty good.
Hell yeah, that sounds pretty fire right now, actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
but that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So it's funny because I don't know how I kind of bumped into you guys, but it's like a while back, and it was through event. And but since that event that I seen you guys, like, have you guys ever popped out to any events recently?
Have we popped out? Um, we usually go to I don't know if you're familiar with State Highware or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They host a lot of events and we usually pop out to them. Or like um yeah, just pretty much that and like whatever events we'll see online. If we have time, we'll usually try to pop out.
Gotcha. Is there
Yeah.
any events that you're popping out soon?
Uh Off the top, I would have to look at my thing right now. Off the top of my head, I don't have anything. I saw a few things that I saved on my Instagram that I was like trying to look at to go to, but not at the moment.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Any new food in the works that you're gonna like starting to infuse or you're about to infuse or
I was thinking about maybe making like you know how they have like what you call it? Um fucking lost the word. I was trying to infuse a fucking duck.
mm-hmm.
You know how like duck breast? Yeah,
Okay.
so I was trying to infuse a duck breast with just like some oil and stuff, making uh making like a nice little dish out of that. Um yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that I can possibly infuse if I start thinking about it.
So like what kind of like makes you like want to do something? Like do you have like a list and you kind of go down through it or like
Actually, uh, I have here. I actually have it with me, and it's specifically We
Bon appetit.
and so I then kind of going off this thing and kind of give you like recipes and stuff and like all the dosages and whatnot. And
Oh
so it
shit.
has a lot of interesting recipes that I've been trying to follow.
That's what's up. Holy shit. So you kind of just go off that book. For how long you been having that book?
Uh, that book, my business partner gave me when we started Dank Kuisine. Actually, um, it was funny because uh, for people who don't know, Dank Kuisine is by two people. It's me and my homie Alec. Um, One day I'm at the restaurant and I'm telling him like my idea that I want to, start cooking uh, food for people, like infused food. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think he thought anything of it. He comes back the next day with almost a full complete menu of like shit that we should be making, and I'm like, oh shit, so you're like serious about this? And that's when we started like meeting up at his place to start cooking, just trying out like different ideas. Like we made an infused steak sandwich one time that was pretty good.
Hmm.
We infused the chimichurri, so we put some chimichurri on top, and it was pretty good. But that's originally how Dank Cuisines got started, and then so yeah, I've had this book for a minute to answer your question.
Do you have other books or is it just that one?
Just that one. Once I finish going through all the recipes, I'll probably get another one.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
but
so pretty much this was like you telling your business partner like at your job while so
we
you
were
were
both,
cooking while thinking about infusing
yeah,
food.
yeah. It was funny because every dish that we would make, like we had like a bunch of like pasta dishes, we had like some vegetarian dishes, everything that we made at the restaurant. I was all like in my head, I was like, I can infuse this like easily. That's kind of how it started.
What's up, man?
hmm
So like what is like any like goals I guess for this year or do you have anything that you guys are trying to do for this year for Dank
We're trying
Cuisine?
to we're trying to throw a event in September. Trying to kind of similar to the one we did last year with vendors and food vendors, mainly food, but like we call it a food show, like infused food showcase is what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
Where food vendors, like infused food vendors, come and it's kind of like those street festivals, but more inside, kind of.
So pretty
um,
much like all edible related.
yeah, so we try to get like people that do more like less pastries and more like actual like cooked dishes type thing.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That'll
I
be
mean,
interesting.
we have people that do pastries as well, but you know,
The main thing is kind of like just infused foods in general.
foods,
Like,
yeah,
okay.
dishes kind of, yeah.
So like, do you see a lot of like infused dinners being made here throughout the city?
Yeah, it's definitely gone up in the past year or two for sure. As to where before it was very like taboo, you couldn't really even talk about it. It was more like invite only. It's still kind of like that, but now you have more people. It's more commonly known now. A lot of people do it. There's this guy I follow on Instagram called the Nomad Cook,
Hmm.
and he pretty much that's all he does. He just travels from like city to city doing infused food dinners, which is kind of a goal of mine. I kind of want to do that a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot more people know about it now.
And so he's kind of gone to like states where it's not legal and he still does it.
Yeah, I interviewed him on my podcast at one point, but he used to be a banker. So he used to, or not a banker, but like a stockbroker. So like he used to make like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but he was miserable at his job. He was all like, "Fuck this! Like I don't want to. Like I'll give anything to like make infused food," because he was like a home chef or whatever,
Hmm.
and cooking is what he loved doing. But he also enjoyed smoking weed. So he figured out how to infuse the food, and then he quit his job one day and he started doing dinners for everybody. And So now he's just traveling the world, or not the world, the United States, and all the legal states, just doing dinners for people. And he makes
That's
pretty decent money. Like I think he charges like 150 for a seat or something like that.
that's not that bad.
And then he gets, yeah, and then he gets like, I don't know, 10, 20 people a
Hmm.
dinner. Fucking,
That's
you do
money right there.
that.
Yeah, right. Imagine like imagine like 150 per table, and it's like what, like 10 to 20 seats. Imagine that in like 7 days a week. Yeah, that's money right there.
No, man.
And doing what you love, hell yeah. Who wouldn't want to do that? But that's kind of crazy how you say that you say that though, that although like he was making a shit ton of money, he was like miserable, and that's pretty wild. Like want to see kind of that in real life, or like when you
That's
actually
right.
see that.
That's what I saw. Yeah, I was all like, dude, like, cause he was like, yeah, man, I was making in New York, I was making 100 and some thousand a year, dealing with a bunch of clients that were, making millions, and he was just like, yeah, man, like my job pretty much consumed my life, and my job wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to cook, but more I wanted to cook with weed, and so that's what I did, and that's what he said. But
How many people you think out there are like that?
that are miserable from their jobs a lot, dude.
I feel like it's a very common thing that everyone has heard, but I think that's a difference from a job to a career. You feel me? Like when a career is like
Mhm.
you actually enjoy it and all, but like that's wild though. Like I wonder what's actually stopping everybody to doing to like what they want to do. Like
They're scared, man. They're scared, and people like comfortability. People are afraid of being uncomfortable because,
yeah,
like, for
but that
example,
that I'll let you finish, but then I'll say
yeah,
what I gotta say.
for sure, man. Because, like, yeah, no, just people are afraid. Like, if you're getting a steady paycheck and all you gotta do is just pay bills, why not? It's easy, and everyone's afraid rather than, well, fuck it, I'm gonna see what I can do by my own and try to get that going.
Most definitely, but like I feel like that doesn't make sense. Like why are you would you, I guess I do understand, but like like if one is like complaining about like where they at and they don't want to make a change, like why still
I would,
complain? But at the same time, I get you because like before doing this pod, like I was kind of worried on like where this was gonna take me, where if people were gonna tune in or not. But like it's like a trial and error in this process. But like I'm sure it's always a trial and error in everything you're doing. Whether it's doing this or it's doing cooking or you know like anybody in general per se, like we're all gonna fail at one point to move on, because like it's a journey, I think, in everything.
yeah, man. It's not about uh, how many times you fall; it's about how many times you get back up. And I don't know, man. Yeah, just people are scared to be uncomfortable. They'd rather complain.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I think you gotta get tired of just complaining at one point and just kind
For
of just
sure.
I
Yeah.
guess I guess like take the L's and just as well take your dubs.
Hmm.
um it's not a bad life. I think it's just a bad day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I think if people were more, I guess, enjoyment of like their lives or whatever, I think everything would be a little better.
Yeah.
Most definitely. At least a
Everyone
little
smokes a
weed.
little bit of weed. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of weed, a little bit of green,
Yeah.
gets you motivated, gets you up and running, gets you kind of chill, gets you mellowed, gets you hungry, gets you happy, gets you, wondering, gets you, in the mood. Yeah, it gets you in many, many, many things, man. But but yeah, it's pretty wild how I'm starting to see a lot of like um sexual things connected to cannabis and like that. Like I've seen I get emails because I'm like subscribed to like the newsletters, whatever, to some dispensaries and all. And Nature's Grace, I believe that was the brand. They came out with a sub brand called Oh Yes or whatever. And of course, it's like um infused like lubricant and stuff like that. And it's like I'm just like, damn, that's pretty wild. But I guess they would kind of drop it at this point. And oh, I don't have it here. Do I? Let me see, because I do have another one that I got from a recent event that they just couldn't give it, putting things on a goodie bag for like giveaways and stuff. And like I got like some edibles, a pre-roll, and like a cart, which is this one actually that I'm smoking on. It's a GMO. I got it.
Yeah.
And they came in a little bottle, and it was that, and it was like lubricant, and I was like, oh, nice, like, but that's getting wild. It's wild though that it's getting to that too, like,
But yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm sure someday you have like marijuana infused condoms or something.
damn, that'd be.
Wow.
I could see that though. I mean, might as well. I mean, you got the lubricant. I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah,
I mean, might as well. So, but that's that. Yeah, it's getting a little wild out there. With the things they be kind of dropping, I feel like they're very like I wonder who's coming up with those things.
right.
Like they're just like fuck it, like out of the box. Like we got nothing else. Fuck it, why not, right?
And I'm sure it sells, you know what I mean? Like people like out of the
That's
box things.
that's another thing. I wonder if it sold. Like, I wonder how much it sold.
Yeah.
The freaks came out for sure.
I'm sure, bro. Hell yeah.
Uh, but that's what's up, bro. So, another thing, like I mentioned earlier that before, besides, you being part of Dank Cuisine and stuff. Um, you're also a podcaster, so tell us a little bit about your podcast, and what type of podcast is it, man?
So it's a podcast called Hawkwinds Radio. It started a little bit over about a year and a half ago at Q4 Studios. I used to do a lot of like live streaming bands over there, and I saw they had a podcast room, and I just decided to start one day. And originally, it was gonna be like a weed thing. I was like, I'm gonna talk about weed, and I don't know, somehow it just like shifted from weed to wanting to talk to like entertainers and stuff.
Hmm.
Mostly because that's also what I do. I like do art stuff and like I play in bands and all that stuff. So it was kind of like interesting to me to like talk to other like-minded people. And so yeah, man, I'm not like the talkative like personality type to be on camera a lot. So
Hmm.
I decided to get a co-host who helps me. He pretty much just runs the interviews and stuff, and I kind of like direct everything and how it goes and whatnot. But um, so yeah, we interview a lot of artists of all different mediums. We interview musicians, artists, puppeteers, wrestlers. What else have we done? Like street artists, muralists, actors, filmmakers, all kinds of like entertainment people. It's pretty
Who
much what
has
that
been
is.
like the biggest like interviewer you had so
So
far
far,
since you're like in the entertainment?
the guy from the alley, the owner from the alley. The store, the
Alley.
alley. It's like a punk rock store that's been around for like I don't know, like 50, 60 years. But the dude's like a Chicago staple. And so we were able to interview him a while ago.
Okay.
The show Svengoolie?
No.
The show Svengoolie has been around for it's filmed in Chicago and it's been around for like years. And we were able to interview one of their characters, which was pretty cool too. So we've done
Okay.
some pretty cool people.
Is this like Is this like are these like hidden like gems, or is this like just like you can say like just Chicago culture right here?
Like Chicago, like the alley is like Chicago culture, man. Like everybody knows the alley, and then Spenguli is a show on Channel 26, so a lot of people know it too.
Yeah, no, yeah. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no. I'm lost.
I feel you,
But
bro.
that's what's
You should
up though.
definitely
That's
look. You should definitely look it up if you ever get a chance. It's a pretty cool show.
yeah, most definitely. I'll try to check it out most definitely, and especially look into that alley a
Yeah, it's
store.
like
Is
a
it a
cool.
store or
Yeah, it's like a punk rock store.
and like what is it though? Like what does it like do what do they sell though? Like
It's all like just like uh clothing,
oh
like
okay.
shirts, pants, stuff like that, but very like punk rock style. A lot of
Oh
black,
okay.
a lot of black clothing.
Gotcha. I see. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Mhm.
So. Um, what are like so how often do you drop your episodes here? Like,
We go live every week, every Wednesday. So we film it, stream it live, and then we pretty much just drop it there and then.
okay, I
Yeah.
gotcha. Um, do you like do any like cannabis people like industry people have into your pod? Have you brought anybody?
We want to. We were trying, well, actually, yeah, the guy that I mentioned, the weed guy, the cooks, he's been on there. But no, we want to definitely bring in more cannabis people for sure.
That's what's up, bro. And like like let's say like where you're at, like in your studio and all, like would they let you like at least vape in there or
Vape
is that
for
like
sure.
okay, what about like dab, like with the puff coin though?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, we usually just take a the Benjamin over there. That's one
Well,
of those.
yeah, right.
That's one of those Benjamin situations.
Most definitely, or some edibles, you know. Why
Or
not? Little some
definitely
snacks, you know, some gummies or some chocolates, you know. Why not some chips?
edibles. We're working on at some point getting like a different studio where we're able to like smoke and like drink and if we wanted to or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like when it comes to like running a podcast, like that's kind of the goal for us here, you know, like to get to that point where I can start inviting people and like, you know, actually consume stuff like whatever they bring in or whatever I have. Like for example, like if it was in person and everything, you know, I would have loved to just kind of share with my guests, you know, like edibles, you know, that from like the sponsors I have right now, or like the flower that I have from my sponsors, you know, so like you know, even my sponsors get more exposure and stuff like that, not just kind of just being seen throughout the whole show. You feel me? And just like the conversation is more, I feel like it's just more powerful per se when it's
Mhm.
person to person. Although like virtual, like it kind of is because you know we get to see each other now, but like at the end of the day, like it's not like you're right across from me, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely personal sometimes, man. Like I've had like when people are telling stories, like sometimes like I had people like cry in there. It's
Hmm.
pretty wild to see like their emotions and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure it is, but but coming like from a cannabis you know, podcaster and you know, just thinking of like, you know, where can I smoke? You feel me? Like especially flower. You feel me? Like you know,
yeah,
because I think that's like one thing that we all kind of all have in common. It's like we all love a little flower, you know. So like if it's not the dabs, it's not the Benjamin, not the edibles, the flower for sure. We're all at least gonna say, hey, fuck it, why not? You know, like let me take a you know a toke. You know.
yeah,
Um,
that's the hard part of finding a place where you can do that.
Yeah, you know, yeah. So it's a bitch sometimes, but you know what, man? Sometimes you gotta work with what you got, man. And if it works at the end, it works, you know. But I see it as like if you want it, you gotta make it work. So yeah, so that's pretty dope, man. And most definitely that's cool that you guys are doing that, like you know. what you guys doing with podcasting and stuff like that.
Mm.
How about like with like musician wise? Do you guys usually focus on like the rock, punk rock era or like genre per se, or you guys still get everybody?
No, we got everybody, man. We got a couple rappers come in. We've had a couple country artists come in, and
Hmm.
a lot of bands for sure. A lot of solo artists sometimes. So yeah, we focus on just the general aspect of like entertainment.
I guess I see, I see. So
Hmm.
I'm guessing you're more into like that punk rock genre.
Personally, yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely stuff I grew up on for sure.
And I know were mentioning that there's some type of scene in the Chicago area on this type of genre, but like and so if you want to tell us more about that.
Yeah, man. The Chicago music scene is pretty wild right now when it comes to like rock and roll and bands. A lot of the bands that I started playing with are currently now getting like signed to like record labels and stuff. So it's pretty cool just to see like your friends succeed type of thing, you know. And I would like to think that Chicago has one of the best like DIY scenes in the states, pretty much, man. Like you go to any show, you see a lot of the same people because there's a lot of community going on in the Chicago music scene. So it's pretty cool, man, to be a part of it.
That's what's up, man. And like, has that always been the scene here? Like, or is it just something like it's just getting noticed?
Since since I've been like I don't know, I was like 16 or 17 when I went to my first like garage show, I guess, or like backyard show. And it's always been like a good community of people, man. Like, you know, you see a lot of the same faces. You see a lot of new faces that aren't afraid to come into the scene because they're the people there are very inviting, you know.
Most definitely. I feel like once you get to know an actual community, whether like just in general, you get to see exactly how it really is. But
Mhm.
overall, like the music wise, do you prefer it to be like do you prefer like the old music rather than like the new upcoming music or
It's a little bit of both, man. There's some I fuck with the old music a lot. There's some of the new music that I like, and some of the new music that I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit?
I feel like that's for every genre. Like
Yeah.
today's rap, I really don't like today's rap. Like I don't know, like I kind of stopped listening to rap like after like probably 2020 probably 2019 probably I kind of just just kind of just play like the old stuff from like 2019 at least 2019 and back like I
Yeah.
try like even listening to like the new type of music that the rappers I fuck with drop and sometimes they're good sometimes it's like you say like what is this um
Yeah.
but yeah, nah, I don't know. And like with today as well, like kind of how you said with like the DIY situation here. I think like in general, just right now, anyone could just kind of make it. I think you just I just don't know what really is it that gets them to that point, but like I think it's just possible just by the way that you see who's getting noticeable.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it's like relevant or not.
No, you're right, man. Like for example, like I see my friends making it right now, and I'm just like, whoa, like if they can do it, like why can't I do it? Type of thing, you know. So it's just
Yeah, or
oh,
even like on the internet, like you just see something like the stupidest shit and you're just like,
right,
really? And I cannot yet? Like, come on.
exactly. Yeah, that's always, man. Yeah, I always get. I see some dumb shit on the internet. I'm all like, this got like 12 billion views.
But yeah, but yeah, it's like whatever. But like I think at that point it's just it's kind of wild, because there is an actual algorithm to this, and
Yeah.
I think you just gotta like just crack that code to it. But like, I don't know. It's I think it's like, do you even have that time to like kind of figure it out?
Good,
With
no,
this
that's
whole,
tough, man.
yeah, especially like this whole like meta takedowns and everything like that. Like,
Mhm.
that's just like another thing to just put on top of like your quote unquote plate, because like your social media is like literally like your marketing per se. Like,
Yeah.
literally, it's like your marketing. It's like your free marketing right there.
Hmm.
Like, unless you get that blue check. Like sadly, like I got it because like I personally think like if I have that blue check, like my page won't get taken down anymore.
Mm.
Cause
Okay.
like because that's the only reason why I got it. But like I personally would not have gotten it until like my page got taken down for the first time, like in like three close to almost 4 years of doing this. Like, my page got taken down just recently, so and
Sucks,
then
man.
yeah, and I got it back. I got my old original account back and everything, but like it just kind of sucks because like you know out of all the time, like just now, like it's just whatever. But I'm just glad I got my page back. Cause like it sucks, man. Like I know so many people who got their page taken down, and who has never gotten their page back again. Like they have to like regain everybody like they followed and everything.
Yeah,
And is of course like you post everything, like it's like your work or whatever there. Like, so like it's not just like your personal shit. Because if it is personal shit, I think like that's just something different. But like when it comes to like a business aspect, or even like an output of media or whatever, like it's kind of crazy, man, to kind of shut them down.
yeah, dude. Yeah, that's people's like lifelong work.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know, man. With this whole social media shit like that, I don't know. It's getting wild out there. Um, but yeah, my guy. Before like we wrap it up and anything, do you have anything else to say, man?
Um, Not really, man. Follow Dank Cuisine, follow at Hawk Wins. Keep an eye out for our event in September at some point. We're gonna announce it. We had an event happening last month, but there was like some miscommunication between us and the venue, and it was just we had to cancel it. It sucks because I had so like when we get vendors, we charge a vendor fee just to help us pay for the venue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had already charged the vendors, and so I had to give them all their money back. It was like a whole fucking ordeal, man.
Man, that
But
sucks. That's another thing about like hosting events that noticed here. It's like kind of a hassle, but like I don't know, like we've been wanting to drop like an event. Like we've been having like an idea, but it's kind of hard to also find a venue that allows you to consume. Because like that's one thing that I think everyone here wants to know is like if your event is consumable or not.
well, for sure, yeah. And they won't come unless it is.
Yeah, that they won't come, and like your ticket sales is gonna be low, and like you're gonna be like, what the fuck? And but in reality, it's like it's not a cannabis event if you cannot smoke.
Exactly.
Um, Whether it's like, vape or only vape or not, it's like different, because people are gonna be like, I guess, at least we can, I guess, I might have to go buy me a cart, might have to go buy me a Benjamin, might have to go get me some wax now, might, like people are like thinking of that. I feel like because with flowers, like, oh, I can just go to this dispensary, or I can just hit up the plug. I can go to the gas station, get some blunts or cones. I can go to the smoke shop, just get some cones or blunts. It's more simple, I think, to just get high. But it is what it is. We gotta always, just think positive and just keep on going forward with everything, man. We're glad that we're here and we're not like where we were at like 5, 6 years ago. So,
Yeah, for sure,
but we
man.
haven't really progressed it from, legalization, but we're still here though. But yeah, ladies and gents, I'll leave their IGs for Dank Cuisine and as well for Jay's podcast. Make sure to follow him on the gram. Make sure to subscribe to their podcast as well. Um, and yeah, make sure to be tuned so you guys can to go and get that infused dinner. That sounds pretty tasteful. I ain't gonna lie, man. I hope I can go and get some content on that shit.
Man, for sure, dude. I mean, if you wanted to collab on anything, I'm always open, bro.
Most definitely, most definitely. I know we kind of are also talking about doing some content. We gotta also finalize on that. But yeah, man. Thanks for popping out here in Canna Vibe. And
Man, for sure.
and yeah, most definitely, man. We most definitely have to link up and do some type of infused stuff.
For sure, man. Hell yeah.
But yeah, ladies and gents, if you guys are continuing to, if you guys are still smoking, continue to smoke. This was another Wake and Bake sesh right here with your boy Chino. And yeah, we want to see you guys to the next podcast. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe out there and stay high.